Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Wednesday Night Shooting. This is the Burn in My Light episode. I am Tonya Rodgers here with Andrew M. Swift.
Hey, folks.
It was just a lot of things kind of went on this week in wrestling. We're going to talk about the FastLane predictions. And, probably touch up on some things on the Go Home show. But mostly this is going to be a SmackDown show because they've really, this week, I think, started their road to WrestleMania. So, yeah, we're going to dive into the episode that was yesterday. But the first thing I wanted to talk about and touch up on, there's a such thing on a radio show called Donkey of the Day. And I don't bite anybody's style, but Charlemagne the God, there's one thing he says before he puts the Donkey of the Day. He says, so and so, whoever's gonna be Donkey today, I like to call them to the front of the class. What I want to do right now is call Becky Lynch stands to the front of the class.
Uh-oh.
I need you to come and stand before everybody because we need to have a serious, honest discussion about your favorite wrestler. Okay, so Andrew, pretty much in his review, spoke about, where he feels like Becky could be doing better. And I'm not just gonna agree with you. I'm probably gonna go a little bit further because I am because I had to sit and think about it. And people are going hard for Becky, so hard that they are blaming the other talent, the road agents. The sun was in her eye. She tripped on a shoelace. The one that really got to me is this argument that she's so much better. She's so much above everybody else on SmackDown Live that it's nearly impossible for her to get anything out of these terrible waste of women wrestlers. Like, we'll address that. But my main issue is, whether people know it or not, the three women's divisions that the WWE set up, they have anchors for those divisions. Now, Raw is kind of favored because they happen to have three anchors. I don't think they wanted three. They only wanted Charlotte to be the anchor of the show. But Sasha and Bayley are so good that they also became sort of the anchors of the division and standard bearers because people want to see them and they do good work. In NXT, everybody knows since the 4 horsewomen were called up, Asuka is the anchor for the whole goddamn division. And no matter what you say, the women's matches in NXT have been fairly enjoyable with Asuka at the helm. And at the very least, they've been better than all of the SmackDown women's pay-per-view matches. That's just the truth. And who is the anchor for the SmackDown women's division? It's certainly not Nikki Bella. Her feud was way more talking than wrestling. That's how feuds have been. Who has been the anchor? It's been Becky Lynch. And when you have multiple big-time performances where they just don't live up to expectations, the majority of the blame, and I have some people like, well, I don't know if Becky Lynch is a veteran. Oh, knock me over with a feather. I thought that was why she was so much better than everybody else. Because she had all this experience. And she was so good on the indies. So you can't have it both ways. And I'm not saying she's horrible. I don't think she's horrible. She's trash. I don't know why she's being pushed. Listen, I think the spot that Becky is in right now, it fits her. It's a nice little spot. She loses, but there are such thing as faces that are popular enough to take more losses than your average face and still be over. that is Becky Lynch. Like, I don't think if they gave her a Charlotte-like push or anywhere in between that right now, she would be more over, because she still is great with the character work, but I would say 8 times out of 10, a Becky Lynch match, it's just not, you're gonna leave that match disappointed, especially if it's supposed to be a big deal. She is the veteran. You cannot say such statements like John Cena had a great match with the great Khali, who we all know is not a great worker. You can't say that about certain people. And then when it comes to other people who are also supposed to be great wrestlers, and they don't carry their end. I've heard people say, oh, well, there are a lot of botches and missteps. There were some botches and missteps when Roman Reigns faced Jericho. But the whole match didn't rest on it. They got past that. They moved on because they're both professionals. And at this point, yes, Roman Reigns is a veteran. I'm going to call him a ring general. But when you're in there and you're recovering from botches easily to where nobody's talking about it. I believe it was the same battleground that you went to that Bayley had her little surprise tag match. People were talking. You could notice Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens in the beginning of their match, it was a little bit off, but they brushed that shit off and got a standing ovation from the crowd. So, when you're talking about Becky and her performance, that's the subject. Nothing else. Not the state of the division or how hard it is to work with Green. We're talking about Becky in her skill level. She is a good wrestler. She is going to have to show more than what her resume has to get that great wrestler, great worker. And that's just, for me, she's a great character. She's one of the best pure baby faces in the company. But I think she hated. I don't think, sometimes you can catch lightning in a bottle, and then once the shine wears off, it's kind of like the Shield guys. The shine wears off, and you're like, oh, well, you know what? Maybe thing in the world. But that doesn't make people hating. It's just critical evaluation after a certain period of time. Report card, a progress report. This is just Becky's progress report, and people would like to see. It's not even about the moves; it's about the intensity that she gives. It kind of seems repetitive. There's no excitement. I don't know, but that's just my 2 cents. So yeah, Andrew, I thought was really nice about it, and he still got raked over the coals for how dare you criticize Becky Lynch of anybody? How dare you? Have you forgotten she saved the Divas Revolution? We can never criticize Becky Lynch. Get the fuck out of here. She is on my She is on my TV. She is performing. I can critique her. That's all I had to say. Do you want to add anything to?
I actually don't think people are going. It's funny because the discussion in the threads happened. It started up, and maybe the very first comment or two, I don't even think they were referencing me by name. They were just immediately started going at each other. I was just like, man, oh boy, here we go. I did I actually, my review is, before it was published, it was actually much more scathing than what actually came out on the page. I went in a little bit more like you just did a little bit, but I toned it down a little bit because I figured it wasn't really what I was trying to entirely get across, so I had to tone it down a little bit. But it's funny to me that people are always saying, especially the defense of her that is oh, she's working with all these green workers or whatever, blah 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 blah. what's weird is that like Naomi got a pretty decent match out of Alexa Bliss. You know, I mean, the finishing stretch was kind of sloppy, but whatever. It was sloppy. Who cares about sloppiness? The energy was really good, and it was a lot crisper than anything that Becky did with Alexa. And Becky's stuff with Mickey, nothing really. It was like fine, decent, but nothing really got next level, and it's kind of frustrating because I think.
Andrew, hold on. Just answer this question, because a lot of people, oh, Becky and Asuka would be a great match. Now, did Mickey James might have ring rust, but did that match with Asuka not fucking rule except for the finish?
That was a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, you can go ahead and continue.
Yeah. It's just strange because, I mean, like, it's funny because I even wrote in my recap, I was like, Becky when on, at her best is one of the best in the world, like regardless of gender. And there's this phrase that's used in like when talking about football, European football, soccer, and it's like judging and assessment of players. The phrase is form is temporary, but class is permanent. So like you can be off form, you can be like in a slump, but eventually like class, like just your natural talent level will, play out in the end. And so now I'm wondering, I'm like, man, this is a kind of a long slump. Maybe this is just kind of her class, because I mean,
you know what? I'm starting to think there are certain performers who don't elevate people. They play up to the level of performing that's in the ring. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah. It just doesn't seem like she's like Bailey with Alexa put on some really good stuff. Like I'm not saying they're match of the year candidates or whatever, but they're better than anything Becky's done, definitely. And that was down in NXT, obviously, where they have some advantages. They're at the performance center, so they get to work on stuff like a lot. But even still, like you're working a lot of matches on house shows and stuff. You should be able to start getting, the chemistry a little bit going a little bit better. And it just hasn't at all. And it's very weird because she's someone with a very, very high reputation, and it's kind of coming, especially on her ring work. I mean, like her character work and promos definitely is, her reputation is deserved on that. I think she's excellent on those fronts. But in terms of like big matches, which the women's division still is that's still kind of the thing, because it's like it's new. It's still relatively new for women to put on these like big main event style matches and like tear the house
right
down. And she's not really providing that, and it's odd. It's odd because like if you think back to like the early days of the Divas Revolution, like she put on like a pretty decent TV match with Tamina of all people, so it's just like I don't know what's going on with her these days, but it's just not clicking for her right now. And it's I would like it to be more, because I feel like she can offer more, and we're not seeing it.
Yeah, you're right. I agree.
But it's like at the same time, it's like maybe it's like then you start thinking it's like, well, maybe they put her on SmackDown for a reason. Maybe she's not on Raw with the other three for a reason, Like that might just be a talent assessment that WWE has made, and they don't seem like they're wrong,
Yeah, you do make me think maybe she's a good wrestler, but she's not good at the whole WWE style of main event. And when she gets in there with somebody who is, she can have a great match. But she really doesn't have that. I mean, and she hasn't ever faced Nikki, because I think where Nikki excels at, and a lot of WWE homegrown or home trained people, they learned under that. So that's their first instinct, is to perform the WWE style and way. So it's very interesting. We're Becky Lynch fans, and if we feel like she's giving us a mediocre, not just one mediocre match, a collection of mediocre work for so like it's kind of been a while now, it's a disservice as fans of hers to just accept that, and only mention the good and don't mention the bad.
Mhm.
So I understand. How people can feel like everybody's ganging up on somebody all of a sudden, but like, people digest this product in a different way.
Mhm.
So don't come at us.
Well, it's
Because-
also like a collective experience. Like when you notice something, then like if somebody notices something and says something, then you'll start looking at it too and be like, oh yeah, and so then you'll be looking for it next time out and you'll see it, and it kind of snowballs from there. But piece of advice, Tonya: if Becky moves to Raw, just be aware that just say a couple of words that might be critical, and you'll get like 500. You'll get like 500 comments on your review.
I review every single time. Like I can put Seth Rollins over. Like, he was one of the few people I did put over in my review. Not to mention, as soon as I say something just a little bit sideways about his storyline, his angle, like what color shirt he got on, way more comments. No, Seth is CrossFit Jesus. How dare you? So I know, and it will spark people arguing in the thread, because that's just how it goes with some people. And I know, I really do. When I review Seth Rollins, it's nobody else with me but Seth Rollins, and it's just like, oh, here we go. Let me tread lightly here, because this was not good, and I'm gonna say so. So yeah, okay, we got to get into SmackDown at large, and I know I mentioned in the write-up for this show, rap fan, and one of my favorite parts of rap is battle rap, when rappers come at each other. It's like doing the dozens. Well, this Saturday, a young lady by the name of Remy Ma, she released a near 7 minute track about Nicki Minaj. Now, anybody who knows me knows I really don't care for Nicki Minaj, like, at all. So, like, I've been engrossed in that, and like, I listened to it like, Remy Ma is so petty because Nicki Minaj just said, "You're jealous of me." And Remy Ma, who read her for filth for her entire life. How does this relate to SmackDown? Because that's exactly what John Cena did to the Miz. When all the Miz did was bring up what everybody else. John Cena even said he just brings up the same. But no, John Cena is going to ether your ass. So much so that Tommaso Ciampa, Psycho Killer, Psycho Killer, tweeted that he would not want to promo battle. Or was it Johnny that said he didn't want to promo against Cena and Ciampa?
It was Tommaso that said to Johnny, apparently, like, I don't ever want to promo Cena.
Right.
And then Johnny said, yeah, I think you would make me cry.
Right? But you know what? As much shit as I talk, I would at least give it a try, because like, it wouldn't kill me. Not literally, anyway. So I give it a try. Shit.
Yeah, but
yeah.
as Caitlin does point out, Miz did get the crowd to chant "You sold out" at John Cena, which was kind of amazing.
And I'm gonna bring it back. I'm gonna bring it back to the Nicki Minaj Remy Ma beef. When Nicki Minaj put her little lines out, I'm sure she got people to say, "Oh yeah, that was slick. Yeah, she's so jealous." And then Remy Ma opened her mouth, and everybody standing there was like, "Oh my God, what?" John Cena was so petty that he didn't even care that Marie said his penis was little. It slapped her in the face because he got a pit bull. They ran from Nikki. Oh my God, I could have cried when like John Cena said, y'all don't even know how much I'm in Nikki Bella's corner now. When John Cena looked at her and said, "You have made the biggest mistake of your life," and Nikki came out and she was straight business. And she said, "You mess with my man, I'm gonna break you, bitch." And I was like, see, she been listening to Remy Ma. That's what happened. That's what happened. Nicki Minaj get her entire life ethered, and this is what happens. Inspiration all over the place. I don't know what happens with Raw. Like, obviously, I know it's obviously very few rap fans on Raw. But everybody was listening to Sheetha in the SmackDown locker room. Everybody except for Apollo and Dolph, you know. Everybody else just like, man, play it again. Oh my God, I cannot wait for WrestleMania. I might be done after that. Like, I'm sitting here after the segment thinking to myself, they need to put Roman and Undertaker on before this match. I don't want no. This match gonna steal the goddamn show. It's not a match between four pro wrestlers. So if that's what you want to see, you might go get your snacks or whatever. But all us WWE sports entertainment fans, we gonna love the shit out of this match. Every piece of it, because it's four freaking sports entertainment professionals up in there. Mm. And Maurice might be the best part. God damn, she is so, like, people sleeping on Maurice. She wasn't the best, but she was a wrestler. She took bumps. She's not just a valet for people who just now. Like, when I popped in, she was one of the people in the division that I always liked. She was like mean and vicious. She did she was good at catfighting. Like, you know, some people like, I didn't like all the hair pulling. Like, if you were good at it, I didn't mind if that was the type of wrestler you are, because that's how some women fight. None but hair pulling and scratching. You think you're fighting a wild cat or something. But, you know, she was kind of a wild cat. So I cannot wait. I cannot wait. Oh, my God. Oh.
It's funny, you know, it's funny that you mentioned that this match is going to be like a big time sports entertainment spectacle, which it totally is. But because we keep seeing people being like, especially the criticism, especially made about the presumed AJ Styles versus Shane McMahon match, that like people want like a good wrestling match at WrestleMania, and it's just funny to me because then I think about the whole weekend now. And there's like 30 wrestling shows, and like 25 of them are literally all about like just work rate, you know? Like all those indie shows, it's like they're work rate shows. So it's like, man, there's a ton of like just wrestling that weekend. So, you know, it's not like you're being deprived, you know? There is a ton of work rate promotions that on that same very weekend. So allow the people who pop for ridiculous, I don't even ridiculous, just like classic WWE stuff is what this is, and I'm all in for it, you know.
Yeah. I mean, that could have been the beginning and the end of the show.
Yeah, I wanted it to be, frankly. I was just like the problem is they put on the 2 out of 3 falls match right after, and I was like, oh, this is a mistake. I was just like, no.
Yeah.
I wanted the chairs match to come on right then. I felt like that was the spot for the chairs match, right?
Okay, before we get to the biggest angle of the show, and I'm gonna be on some of the people who are against the angle side just a little bit. But before we get to that, let us discuss the point of Dolph Ziggler and Apollo Crews and that chess match was like it. I think I'm gonna be honest, like that was when I was like, okay, I can just go ahead and put the kids to bed and get all their clothes together. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not watching this. And then I drifted and it just distracted me. Like everything else had my attention. But then I don't know what they're gonna do with Apollo Crews for one, because like Dolph already had his career. But I don't know what the hell they're gonna do. It's just like sometimes I'll sit there and watch and be like, what is the problem? Like, is it him? Is it the presentation? Like, what is it, Andrew? Why is Apollo Crews just not working like on any level?
I mean, a part of me wants to say it's just he's not nearly as good as people think he is. Like, I kind of feel like we have like a year and a half of evidence now that's just like he's not really.
Didn't he come at Brooklyn? NXT?
Yep.
Was it Takeover Brooklyn? He debuted.
Yes, that was his debut against Ty Dillinger. I believe that was Ty Dillinger's first match, televised match in the Perfect 10 gimmick. But some people knew about it, including myself. So like there was some Perfect 10 chants. And
out of that match, who's more over?
I mean, it's not really a question, is it?
Right.
I mean, the match itself is weird because it's worked kind of even, and instead it's not really like an Apollo showcase. Like he's working under, which it just is very strange to me because he's not. I don't understand why. It's bizarre that they can book ass kickers, but just can't.
Who get beat up all the time.
But yeah, but. They can't book babyface ass kickers. They can only book heel ass kickers, which is bizarre because you would think it would be so easy to just have some dude who's super strong and super fast and super has super agility to just do work rate shit and get that over in sprint 6-7 minute sprints. But they've literally never done that with him, which is odd. I don't know.
And that the thing that really gets a lot of guys to be in the main event is that they're good sellers.
Mm-hmm.
That's like there's a different level to selling because I don't want to pick on Seth Rollins, but he's a good example of somebody who some people would say he's a good seller simply because he sells the move. So if he gets powerbombed, he acts like it hurts. But I think he's a terrible seller because he does not sell the cumulative damage to any match he's been in. And it'll be like somebody's working over a body part, and then it's time for him to have his comeback, and he acting like he just got finished doing CrossFit. It's like, dude, your back's supposed to be hurt. Limp around just a little bit. But what I noticed with Apollo Crews is that he is terrible at selling the impact of a move, and he no sells too much. Like I think he did get in some shit when he was facing Jericho and he fucked up And ever since then, it's kind of been like they didn't know what to do with him in the first place, but now they're not even going to try. Oh, we can act like we're trying, but I don't know the purpose. Like, give him something. Just don't send the dude out there every week with a smile and baby oiled up and think I'm supposed to be excited. You know? Like, this is not 1980 anymore. People aren't just impressed by muscle and that the big muscular guy can actually do flippy moves. Like, people been over that. He, you know, somebody suggested that he get back with Tozawa, but like, I'm actually liking Tozawa right now, so I don't want whatever bad gravity. He got some juju. Somebody put a root on him. He's been cursed. I don't know what's going on with Apollo Crews. And I have tried. Lord knows I have tried. But I'm really close to writing him off. Person like Dolph Ziggler ain't the best, but I remember when he started hitting his slump, his angles would suck and he wouldn't care. But every once in a while, if he keep wrestling the same person, they'll pull out a really good TV match. You'll be like, shit, Dolph ain't half bad. Mm-hmm. But it's like nothing. He even did it with Corbin, you know, but nothing with the pop, nothing. It's just, I don't know.
It's kind of surprising to me that they haven't tried like putting Crews in like a tag team. You know?
Right.
Like I feel like giving him someone to play off of could, you know, help flesh his character out more and will allow him to, you know, find
him and Mojo Rawley ain't That's it. There you go, Mojo Rawley.
There it is. I'm on board with that.
Ain't neither one of them got nothing going on.
That's shit.
There you go.
Sign me up for that.
I mean, it's better than nothing.
Ryder's out for like a long time still.
He is. So, yeah.
Damn,
Boy.
I'm into
okay, that. Let's talk about the scum of the earth.
Oh boy.
Randy Orton.
Oh boy.
Let's discuss this vile human being. Okay, so the argument for Randy is that Bray Wyatt is an awful person. He is a heel. So whatever you do to him means that he must forever be a heel. Something good. Okay. Following that logic, then Stone Cold was never a face. Because he was a fucking sociopath. And what had happened was he pushed Bret Hart so far that people were like, you know what? You went a little too much, too far, and we ain't rocking with you no more. To me, and we've had this discussion about this. Because I'm like, what does Bray Wyatt do that's so terrible?
Yeah.
What? What has he done lately? You can talk about kidnappings and this and that. What did he do to Randy Orton other than play some mind games, which turned Randy Orton on? Randy Orton, seriously. Randy Orton walks around most of the time, and if he's in a regular storyline, he looks like whatever. I don't really give a fuck. Randy actually cares now. And you can tell he's never been so full of life as he was riding with Bray Wyatt. So don't try to act like he did some grand sacrifice by pretending to go be. He's just as fucked up as Bray Wyatt. What gives him the right to desecrate somebody's fucking burial site? How is this good? I was listen, when he was standing, because I was like, at first, like, what the fuck is he doing in this barn? Because, like, I missed the first beginning of it because, you know, the chairs match was before and, you know, it bled over. Yeah, but I said, okay. I had to go back and listen to what Bray said. And it was like, well, Bray was talking about how he was working with Beelzebub. And I was like, yes, okay. But Randy Orton, he ain't walking on the dark side. This is an angel. What did Bray Wyatt has fucking talked about people's girlfriends and kidnapped people, claimed to have eaten people's souls. He was threatening to do something to Roman Reigns' little girl at first. And had Roman Reigns took it there and said, you gonna fuck with my daughter, I'm gonna fuck with Sister Abigail. That makes sense to me. I don't see what has happened to Randy personally that you would have to in order to beat him. Cause like, come on now, let's keep it real. Bray Wyatt he just started winning. So it's not like I can forget how many times he's lost. So like, why? And people like, yeah, you gotta trust the process. And I agree, but I think it's written. See, we're arguing about it, but I think it's written in a way that whoever wants to take Randy's side can take his side. And whoever wants to take Bray's side can take his side. I legit believe that. And they're not really trying to get anyone cheered or booed either way. I know that's not how wrestling is supposed to work, but this shit is fucking working. Because I just think Randy is the worst. He's evil. He is evil. He's evil. And I always knew it. Because people like, Randy's a snake. Yes, exactly. So why would you trust? Look what he did. So poor Bray was a heat. Did you see him, Andrew?
Mm-hmm.
How could you not, like, how could you not feel for a person? Like, I grew up a big chunk of my life not really even liking my father, but if somebody said my daddy's grave on fire, I don't know what the hell I'd do. Right in front of me. The people. Like, Yeah, boy.
It was surprising. Like, I didn't really buy it that it was happening until like he actually lit the match. Like the whole time I was expecting him, because I was just like, holy shit, this is happening now. Like, you know, when he's just like, I've never been with you, and I was just like, wait, what? I was like, oh shit, here we go. So like the whole time I was waiting for the other shoe to drop and for Randy to be like, I wasn't like, he couldn't just say like psych or something, but like that's what I was picturing in my head, where he's just like, LOL, we're just buddies. We're just fucking around here. I'm burning someone else's grave or something. But yeah, that it snuck up. It was the right. I feel like it was the right time to do it. Like people are like, well, this came out of nowhere. It's like, no, it really didn't. Because as I put the video I posted in the recap from all the way back last September 6th, was Randy Orton telling the story about a man and a snake both going after the same rabbit. Like the man shoots the rabbit dead and wants to get it, and then him and the snake are like having a standoff over who's going to actually grab the thing, and he just like stares the snake down. Snake's just sitting there like not moving, like whatever, blah blah, fuck it, well, you know, I'm not doing anything. And so the dude finally gets the courage to like grab the rabbit, you know, and then he turns his back, and that's when the snake like attacks him. And Randy says like, the snake wanted the rabbit, but when he saw the man, he knew he could have them both. So it's just like the whole idea of like knowing the exact perfect time to strike, and that just felt like the exact perfect time. Like he got in where he needed to go. Bray like had lost all of his followers. and he was alone in whatever cabin that was, and he struck. Versus, like, if you compare when Randy came back after his written off by Seth Rollins, the curb stomp to the block or whatever, and he came back and like pretended to be on the authority side for like a month or something, even though like everybody knew. Like it was like so drawn out, so that when it finally happened, it was just like, this is ridiculous. Why have we been doing this whole time? So I thought, like, just boom, going ahead and doing it like had real shock value, because I was not expecting it last night at all. And then I was like, oh shit, here we go. Like, like I'm hyped, and I didn't know how to react at first, but like, and like it's not like the segment was like brilliant or anything, like, but it was just the timing was right, and they just really got it. They really worked it well. And like you said, Randy Orton, I mean, he's never been a good dude though. He's always
he hasn't. And I've never liked him.
Yeah.
For that reason.
He's always been
ain't no reason.
Dude.
People just cheering him because he Randy Orton. That's why.
Yeah.
And the RKO out of nowhere.
Finisher. Yep. He's got a dope finisher. Everybody loves the finish.
Other than that, he's a terrible human being. Kayfabe.
Yeah.
I don't know him personally.
Right.
Right. But I would just like to pat myself on the back, because when all these people were like, why is he joining him? This don't make no sense. Like, it makes perfect sense. He's gonna destroy Bray Wyatt from the inside out.
From the inside, yeah.
I called this. I called it because I knew what type of individual he is, but burning a gravesite is just a scotch out of my heel spectrum. I'm down with the dark side, but not that much. Not that much. And as a result, I want Bray Wyatt to beat the living shiznit out of Randy Orton. Which also, and this is another reason why Randy Orton is a piece of shit. Because his mind games were fucking around when, like, he don't care about Luke Harper. Was fucking around with AJ Styles, who has legitimately earned a title shot for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. He earned it. I don't give a fuck what, like, I know some people want this to make sense whatsoever, but if Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon somehow, they should not make AJ Styles fight for it or any of that. He has earned it. He did. He went through 2 matches already to earn it. You gonna make him have a third one? That's fucked up. None of this is his own doing. This is all Randy Orton playing mind games with Bray Wyatt and fucking around with the rest of the division. Why should AJ Styles suffer because of that? Because he's a jerk? Well, fuck it. Who gives a fuck? Did he not win? Yes. He didn't even cheat.
Yeah, he won clean.
So how are they? So maybe they're just going to put AJ in this match, because now, to me, that's the only acceptable outcome. Okay, Luke Harper isn't in it, but AJ is. That's fine. But if they take him out, I'm going to make so many jokes about the switching of management. Like I thought Mick Foley and Stephanie were on Raw. They making SmackDown decisions now, because that's totally for real though.
Yeah.
If somehow AJ Styles ends up out of this championship match, that is a fucking Raw booking decision, and who the fuck thought of that? Fucking around with the story.
Here's
because he didn't want Luke Harper in that match.
Mm-hmm. Here's where I mention again that before every dual brand pay-per-view, SmackDown stories get a little bit weird. they make a little bit less sense before dual brand pay-per-view.
And it's a WrestleMania. This don't make no sense. If the plan is for AJ Styles versus Shane McMahon, this here don't make no motherfucking sense. None whatsoever. when they booked Shane to be outside the ring and get involved. They booked Luke Harper to kick him instead of AJ Styles. When Luke Harper kicked Shane McMahon, I was like, what the fuck is going on? Oh my God.
It could, I mean, like, the only thing that makes sense to me now is if they're actually going to turn AJ face.
Yeah.
Like,
it's
because,
nothing like,
because if you, like, legitimately, if he gets, like, taken out of the match now, like, you're going to get, like, the smart reaction of, like, people being annoyed about Shane regardless, and then they'll be annoyed about AJ not being in the main event. So it'll be like kayfabe anger combined with like shoot anger at the company. And like that's like it's funny because that does exactly sound like a Raw booking philosophy, something that would lead to kayfabe anger and anger at the company in
right.
Shoot. How about that? How about that? That's kind of perfect now.
And it's gonna be like they're gonna ruin SmackDown.
I mean, this is what happens. Before dual brand pay-per-views, they do weird shit. Bailey joins in on 5-on-1 beatdowns. You know, like,
right.
I mean, they do weird shit before dual brand pay-per-views. But then afterwards, SmackDown can go back to telling its stories. And maybe they'll do like an AJ face turn against like a heel Randy champion. And be like, you screwed me out of like my legitimate title shot. That could be interesting. I don't know.
Yeah, playing his little mind games in the swamp.
Yeah.
And shit, fucking around with AJ's career.
Yeah.
There's no way in the world that AJ's the bad guy in this situation if he does not get that title shot at WrestleMania because he was promised it. Why else was he getting in the fucking ring and doing all the wrestling?
Mm-hmm.
You know? So I don't know how they like if they say, okay, well, Randy and AJ, let's have a match. AJ Styles should be furious and refuse. He like, no. I went through a battle royal. You said that was a draw. Okay, fine. I just faced Luke Harper, pinned him 2 times in the match. I'm not facing him, especially since he gave up his right and you're just letting him get it back. Let him face some, fuck him. Is really how AJ Styles should be. Like, I ain't got nothing to do with what you and Bray Wyatt and your little swamp footsie games, mind fucking each other, whatever you're doing. Yeah, he don't. So I want to I'm not gonna be quick to write it off. I will be salty as hell if AJ Styles is not in a championship match. I say that. I reserve the right to say that because the storyline says he should be in the fucking match. There's no way he shouldn't be in this match. He earned it. So, but I'm not just gonna write it off and say it's terrible.
What's
because if I can get if the consolation is AJ beating the shit out of Shane, I can see how I could enjoy that. I can see
yeah, that does sound kind of fun, right?
Yeah.
That does sound kind of fun.
He gonna get the championship again. He'll have another run. So
what's your opinion? Did you see the second post I made today about Eric Rowan's video?
Yeah, that the Sister Abigail was moved.
Yeah, what's your opinion on that?
I would like that because then Randy is just an asshole and it didn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if they do the whole thing, haha. If they if they end up like running the angle where it's like Randy outsmarted him and then Bray's like, nope, I saw this coming all along. That would be like a really cool twist for it. And there's still 4 weeks to go, so I think there's gonna be another twist in this tale, like for sure.
It's not done.
Gonna come up. So I'm pretty excited for it going forward.
Mm-hmm. Now let's get to the B show.
What,
this
NXT?
Sunday?
NXT?
No. Well, in the C show.
Jokes.
205 Live?
205.
Let's get to Raw.
Okay.
This Sunday is FastLane.
Oh,
And did you watch any of Raw?
I watched the entirety of Raw.
You watched the whole show. So you know that they wasted your time for like 2 hours and 15 minutes at least. Nothing happened in the first beginning of the show that was important or vital or any of that. But, you know, I will say that the stuff with Seth, I really like that. Because he's actually a human being that, you know, has real human emotions and has regrets and remorse for the, you know, flushing something valuable down the toilet for Triple H and his bullshit. All right. And of course, and I loved when he was like, yeah, you know, I should have known this is Triple H we're talking about here. And I was like, right? Right? Come on. Like, am I right? Yeah. Come on now. Yeah, I like that part. I actually would not mind seeing him beat Triple H's ass now. Because Triple H he actually behaved like a heel. It was great. Samoa Joe in the background made that whole, like, the danger. Because Seth is really injured and Samoa Joe doesn't care. He looks like he wants to finish him. But yeah, I liked it, all of that.
I truly enjoyed like Joe just appearing behind Seth. Like,
right?
Where did he come from? All of a sudden the camera just cut back a little bit and it's like, wait, where did Joe come from? Because it wasn't even like the crowd like was like, oh, like when someone comes through the crowd, you can hear like the crowd react, you know? He just showed up. It's like, what? How the fuck did he do that?
Hey, you too big to be silent, goddammit. Shit.
Yeah,
That's scary.
That's good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
It was so shitty of, where were they, Green Bay? To start random chanting it. It's like, this is the promo we've been wanting Seth to cut. Yeah. And then do the CM
Punk shit.
Yeah.
And people are, well, you know, they should have did this. Well, they're doing it now. And like, you claim to like the guy. So, you know, stop that. CM Punk could not give a fuck less. Okay? I didn't like that either. But the crowd wasn't spectacular all night. What else happened in that last hour? Samoa Joe and Sami Zayn with the brawling. Like, this is why I like Sami Zayn. He gangster. He will jump your ass too. He will. He don't have no problem with it. Like, I don't like. He'll be noble and stand up. I'm gonna do the right thing. But once you proven talk about me, it's hands off. Well, he will from behind, just like you did. No, I ain't giving you no respect. You ain't give me none. I like that about Sammy. He will jump you. I liked the little exchange between Samoa Joe and Cesaro, but I felt like they gave way too much time to the women's segment. I did, and when they could have like not done that promo
The weird thing about the women's division is that on Raw is that they still, for some reason, think that putting all of them in one segment and in one promo is like the strategy to take, instead of having like, you could literally have all four of those women cutting like a 2-minute backstage vignette on literally every show. And that would do so much more for the division and those characters than like putting all of them in the ring for like 15 minutes to talk. And it's just like, and it's not good.
No.
It's not good at all. So it's boggles the mind that they're just like, yeah, let's just put them all together. Like, this is the women's segment, and they have fucking Shining Star got 2 entrances on Monday. Shining goddamn stars. Like, you telling me you can't?
That's another thing. They didn't even have to have that match.
Right.
Big Show versus the Shining Star. For what?
For what? What was the point? What's the point? What's the point of
so much filler on this show?
What's the point of using like Rusev and Hardbody Mahal as a tag team? Like, nobody cares. Nobody cares about that. Rusev is great. Jinder Mahal is nothing. He's absolutely nothing. Like, and he's so clearly on the juice. Like, it's ridiculous.
And I don't think it's fair at this point that he can be out juiced to the gills, but everybody else can't be. Nah, get him the fuck out of here if that's the case. Cause it ain't like he provided no point of entertainment. He just there full of steroids.
Yeah.
Mocking me.
Yeah. It's just full of steroids. Yeah, I mean, it's odd. Like, they have so much time on Raw that like, people are always like, they have 3 hours or whatever, it's so hard. But it's like, they don't use the time well, though. They use it for dumb shit instead of, like, actually building characters that the crowd is invested in. It's mind-boggling. Let me tell you.
Some of them guys should only be on the show. They should to a job. They should not get any shine in it. Like, serious, it's your job. Mm-hmm. Raw needs more jobbers matches where you will bump around, but you will not get any offense off. Pretty much.
Yeah.
You might in the beginning get like 30 seconds of false offense. Mm-hmm. But your point is to lose and make whoever we're featuring look good.
In 2.5 minutes.
Right. And the important people get the microphone and talk and get entrances. And that's just how this shit works. They spend too much time on bullshit. Stephanie needs to go ahead and fucking fight. Either Stephanie needs to fire Mick or Mick Foley need to quit. Because he walking around the whole night after Stephanie tear him down. I'm probably not going to be in this position much longer. Well, if you know that motherfucker, quit. Why the fuck are you letting this woman chomp you down the size? And don't nobody respect his ass. Nobody.
Yeah, we're about to get Braun fucking taken out.
Oh my God, Braun ripped him a brand new asshole.
Call him a suburban dad.
Right?
Oh man. It's so bizarre how there are like 4 things on Raw that are like handled really well. It's like Braun, now Samoa Joe, Sammy, and Roman. Those are the only 4 things that are handled well on Raw. It's bizarre. I'm all in on.
Speaking of which,
I'm all in. Like, for real.
Like I don't get the people complaining that Roman signed the contract. What the fuck you think?
God, right?
What's the point of the contract signing? And somebody told me it was to get Roman Reigns in a one-on-one situation. Oh, really? Because we know if Braun had just came out there and was like, Roman, get your motherfucking ass down here, Roman was going to be like, you know what, guys? I think I need a table and a contract before I go out there and fight with him. Like, what the fuck has Roman Reigns been doing since this man cost him the Universal Championship? Any chance he get, he fighting him. He told Stephanie like 2 or 3 weeks ago, he wanted to straight up face him right then on Raw. They're like, well, he has a match. So Roman like, well, he can have a match and he can catch these hands after the match. And then Braun said, and Braun be like, no, you can catch these hands. Like, it's gonna be so many ridiculous kickouts, and people gonna be so mad about how many of Braun finishes Roman gonna kick out on this Sunday. I can't wait.
Oh,
it's gonna be. Oh my God! But wow, they failed to mention that like Roman's gonna take a bazooka gun and shoot Braun, and Braun gonna kick out at 1. They ain't gonna mention it. It took 3 finishes to take down Roman Reigns. Yeah, after Roman Reigns ran him over with a fucking fire truck and then backed over. And then Braun stood right up afterward. Like, monster. Yeah, there's a such thing as monster, and then it's Brock Lesnar. And I love Braun, but we getting close to Brock Lesnar. Like, well, he's there every week. I'm like, yeah, but you don't need to make nobody that damn strong. Somebody need to be able to beat this motherfucker. I know people love to big up Goldberg, but his run was quite short. Mm-hmm. And they was piping in Goldberg chants. You think WWE bag with Roman? They was piping in Goldberg chants. So, yeah. The women's division in NXT, I think, partially has suffered because Asuka's undefeated.
Yeah.
She beating your boy. And what's so impressive about Asuka is that, she actually wrestled all them matches. Goldberg didn't wrestle all the matches they gave him. But I guess we can get to FastLane predictions. We can start with.
Hold on. Did you watch NXT tonight?
I don't watch NXT.
It was a good little women's championship match between Peyton Royce and Asuka. It was fun.
I catch things like that, so I watch that.
It was fun.
Because I get the complaints about Asuka, but I love her.
Oh, she's such a good wrestler.
It's the problem with Asuka is the same problem with Brock, which is what they're starting to do with Braun. If you make somebody unbeatable, you throw the kitchen sink at them and they kick out at 2, people gonna start losing interest because they keep kicking out at 2. But FastLane predictions. Okay. Speaking of Goldberg.
Oh, fucking Christ.
The Universal Championship match. Kevin Owens versus Goldberg. Who do you have?
Like, as always with WWE predictions, I'm torn of 2 minds. There's like the mindset of what do I think WWE is going to do, and the mindset of what do I think should be done. And very infrequently do those align. I think, oh God, I don't want to say it. Because if I say it and then Goldberg wins, it's like, well, duh, of course he's going to win. But the whole thing they've been doing with Heyo, with like, I play the game, saying evolution and shit. I'm just like, man, let's do it. They're going to swerve all of us. They're going to do a Kevin Owens thing. And then it's going to be wild with Joe and Owens and Trips. And then, oh my God, I've like worked myself into a shoot into convincing myself that this stable is going to happen. And that at Smart Mania, Finn is going to come back and Finn is going to turn heel and be the leader of the group. I am all in for that idea, man. Woo! Oh, shit. Sorry, I worked myself into a shoot on this idea. I want it so bad. I want Kevin Owens to beat Goldberg so fucking bad. I don't care how it happens, just any way possible. But Goldberg's going to win.
Yeah. And we're going to have a shitty little Universal title match for the WWE Universal Championship at WrestleMania.
Like, I hope that's the main event because I will just turn it off. I don't care. I'll get to sleep.
Legit. That better be the last match. I'm not watching it. I don't care. I didn't care the first time. I just thought it was funny the way Goldberg beat Brock. It wasn't, people were salty because they were like, it should have been a full time. I was like, silly rabbit. Vince Like, stop trying to make Vince book the way you would. He does not give young guys. Like, it will be a shock if Roman Reigns actually retired The Undertaker, because young guys don't do that in WWE. It might be examples here and there, but the examples I can remember of, like, a guy going out, there's another old dude that took him out. Or somebody established already. So, yeah. Goldberg gonna take that beef jerky belt into WrestleMania. Don't you know? Yeah. The next match we just talked about, Roman Reigns and Braun versus Braun Strowman. And I'm gonna go for Braun Strowman.
Interesting. I'm gonna go with a wild card here. I'm gonna say no contest.
Okay.
I think Taker's gonna show up. And they're gonna do it.
Yeah. That's a strong contest.
The annoying thing is that they'll probably do a bit where it's like Roman is about to pin Braun, and it's just like, if you're gonna do a fuck finish, don't have Braun look like he's about to lose. Just have a fucking fuck finish. You know?
It should come. It really should come, because, like, Roman spears Braun somewhere, right outside of the ring,
like on the outside or something.
And yeah, and Braun's there on the outside, and Roman's trying to get a little separation. So he goes back into the ring. As soon as he pulls himself up, the lights go out. Undertaker appears, slash in the throat with, But that would mean Roman wins by disqualification. So it's mass chaos, and Undertaker attacks them both.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, that's a possibility. I'm just interested for everything other than the finish. I know it's going to be something stupid.
Yeah.
Roman's finishes usually are stupid.
Yeah, the match is going to be awesome, though.
Yeah. Bayley versus Charlotte for the Raw Women's Championship. Who do you have?
The problem with Charlotte matches on pay-per-view now is that the bookies wisened up, and so you can't make money betting on Charlotte to win anymore. It's such a bummer. It's such a bummer. They took away my second source of income. Man. So now I'm like at the point where I'm like, well, maybe I should put money on Bayley and be
put money on Bayley.
This will be the time that they have Charlotte lose. And then I'm like, no, never bet against Charlotte on pay-per-view. Until proven otherwise, never do it. So Charlotte wins.
Yeah, I'm going Charlotte wins, Bayley still your Raw Women's Championship. Because there's going to be something where Charlotte gets a visual pin. Or a visual tap, maybe. Something.
Oh
but
my God,
Jax,
a visual tap on the baby face? Oh my God. I will lose my shit at that.
But like you can see this happening. You can see that happening, and you know. So she can have because she has to have her rematch gets ruined by Nia Jax, then Sasha gets involved because maybe Sasha beats Nia.
Oh God.
If they're going fatal 4-way, then Sasha has to beat Nia, right?
Yeah, at some point Sasha has to have justification for being in the match, right?
Right.
Oh my God.
Because Nia's
what if they just ever turn heel? Oh, this is so dumb. Fucking Raw.
Yeah. Well, so I guess we can just go ahead. We do the predictions for Sasha and Nia, and I predict Sasha will win. But it's a very weak prediction because she could tweet something Sunday morning, and next thing you know, she getting squashed again. So
Yeah, girl need to stay off social media.
She really do.
She really does. Come on, girl. No, I'm going Nia. I don't. They seem to want to be building to Sasha's turn by just having her lose a lot. So I think they're just going to keep doing that. It's a dumb reason. It's terrible. Like, we could book such a better turn, but we're not on the creative team. So Nia Jax is going to win. Nia Jax is going to win probably in about 6 minutes.
Oh, jeez. Okay. I guess we can get to the undercard. The Cruiserweight Championship, Neville versus Jack Gallagher. I don't see them, like, they've been kind of switching the Cruiserweight title around.
Yeah.
I think they're going to have Neville beat. I don't think it will be clean, but I think they'll have Neville win.
Yep. Yeah. He'll cheat he'll do some shit, but he'll win or either like force a DQ or something by like hitting the ref intentionally. He's
gonna get out of there with his belt some kind of way. Yeah.
I agree with that.
The Raw Tag Team Championship. Some guys I don't care about versus a team that Raw has ruined completely.
Here's the funny thing is, I don't know which team you're talking about when you describe those teams. Joe. I mean, I know. I actually do know. I actually do know what teams you're referencing, but they're kind of interchangeable with those descriptions, you know. I don't care. Like, here's what I don't want to see. I don't want to see Enzo and Cass win the championships.
I don't think they are. I think they're gonna break up because Enzo. They might. Because of Enzo. Yes, I feel like Enzo has a tag on him, and I think Vince finds him hilarious, but never wants him in the ring. I don't think Vince. No, Vince. He's scared. He's more like him and Ropes don't get along like Kelly and Ropes don't get along. Like it's comical at this point. So I think they'll have Enzo. Probably, I'm telling you, Vince been looking for his Santino for a minute. Minute.
Yeah.
I think he's found it in Enzo. And Cass is big. So they'll put him out there to fail. Then they'll put them back together, in about 6-7 months.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I buy that.
I think the Average Savages are keeping the belts though.
Why did they take the belts off New Day? Like, why? I still don't get it,
Because their record couldn't be as too much longer than the record. I don't know.
But who cares? Just let them have the record forever.
Right.
Like,
they can have an impossible record.
Have an impossible record for 30 years, and then 30 years from now, when someone beats it,
Yeah, I know some people were like, New Day needs to lose the belts, but I didn't always why. When they get a team that they should lose them to, sure, but no. And if they had built Cesaro and Sheamus better, because they're actually getting over his faces now that they've taken the titles off of them.
Yeah.
Like, Sheamus is getting fucking cheered now. So they should have just developed that team more. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, they should just have those guys put on classics. Like, there's your, work rate team on Raw to take up 15-20 minutes a week, Like, those guys are great. I don't understand why they took the belts off those guys either.
Right.
It's very strange. Nobody knows what the fuck they're doing with tag teams in WWE.
No. It's sad. There's also another tag team match.
What?
It's a cruiserweight match. Noam Dar and Brian Kendrick versus Akira Tozawa and I want to say Rich Swann.
Is it Rich?
Yes,
or
it's
wouldn't
Rich
it be
Swann.
Cedric? No.
It's Rich Swann.
Oh shit! I
But,
literally
see-
never heard of that match before you just said it.
Well, because I put it in my review, so I know. But it doesn't make any sense for it to be a tag team match. Why don't you just have Brian Kendrick and Tozawa face each other since that's the issue? Noam Dar and Rich Swann ain't like they have nothing to do with the story, so it's stupid. Stop this. Please stop this.
It's what it is that they don't want to end the feud, so they don't want either Kendrick or Tozawa to like pin the other. You know, I feel like that's what that says. It's like here's Raw's booking philosophy is like, we know we have to get this far with this program, so let's engineer whatever scenarios we can to get to that point, and then we can end it. Instead of being like, what's the story we can tell with this program, and when should we end it? You know?
You could take those four, make it a fatal four-way, and say it's for the new number one contender for the Cruiserweight Championship, and have them interact that way. You don't even have to pay this match off at a pay-per-view. You got 205 lives to burn through this title shot. But if you're just going to have those four on the card, at least give it that's what SmackDown does so much better. But they will at least have a reason or a purpose that's been built toward. Raw would just throw shit. Like, to me, like, I know Nia Jax has been involved, but to me, it seems like she's just been pushed into a feud that was already developed. And now here she comes. Jane come lately. Like, nobody really cares, Nia. Yeah. All of the matches, because, like, I don't even know.
Did we talk about Sammy Joe? I don't even remember.
No, we did not.
Okay.
Which should also be a good match.
Yeah.
So at least 2 matches on the card, possibly 3. That would be very good.
Yeah, there'll probably be some good matches. There'll be some confusing shit too. So
good matches with probably all of them gonna be fuck finishes and some kind of a
finishes or disappointing finishes.
Yeah.
Good old Raw. I think my
That's a damn shame.
my favorite thing about SmackDown this week was 5 minutes into the show, Miz is talking, and I see you tweet, Raw's already lost. And I just died. I was like, that's amazing. That's perfect.
It was the truth. Like Miz had not even introduced John Cena yet.
Yeah.
And Raw already lost. I was just like, it's a competition going on between the writing teams, and the writing team for SmackDown Live should be very proud of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And the writing team for Raw should be fucking ashamed. They should hold their heads down. I'm sorry. Yeah, most of them should be at this point. The collective, whoever is giving you the good material, keep them people around. But these people that's coming up with a lot of this bullshit, if they don't know what to do with these certain wrestlers, then get them the fuck out of here. Like, how long you been working here? Just here's the door. Goodbye.
You know what I want to?
Like,
what I want to just like say to the collective Raw creative team? I would just like to say to all of them, suck a dick, dumb shits. I'm sorry. I've been rewatching BoJack Horseman, so that phrase is in my head, and I just wanted to use that phrase so badly.
Right? But they should.
Guys, that's my new catchphrase.
Maybe they will
on every show.
If they did that, then maybe they will pull up some interesting life experience to go off of. And the show would be better as a result. Because right now, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, they need
Let's talk
to
about-
have some character building experience of like. You ever see the Louis C.K. bit about like every penis takes a little bit something out of you? Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's like that's what's going on in my head right now. It's like, yeah, some character building.
So I just wanted, because we started the show critiquing Becky Lynch.
Who are we talking now?
So Nia Jax.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, come on to the front of the class, Nia. I'm gonna need you to start watching other giants, male and female, and see how they worked, because it feels like, short from, she will hit a Samoan drop beautifully. I will give her this. And I will also give it when she just runs at somebody and like squashes them. That looks impressive. All the rest of her offense, it does not look like it hurts. And Bayley and Sasha were bumping their ass off for her Monday. It still didn't look like she was hurting them. It looked like what it was, that they were bumping their ass off for her. I'm just gonna need her to tighten that up. I'm not scared of you. I should be scared of you on some fundamental level. Braun can be scary. Mark Henry could be scary. Shit, Charlotte can be scary sometimes when she in there. Just, you get that look on her face, you just be like, she's gonna kill somebody. Look at that evil grin. And I just don't get it from Nia. I really don't. And it kind of seems to me like this is something. She seems like a person who ended up as a wrestler. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's the vibe I'm getting from her. So if you're gonna be in a WrestleMania main event, like, please hold up your end. Please don't have those women.
Yeah, that makes a
working
whole
hard
lot of
around you.
sense. And you said it earlier too, like there was like a story and like relationships between the three characters, and then Nia's just kind of put in there.
Yeah.
Like, because she certainly does not deserve to be in a championship match on WrestleMania on merit. Like, you can't argue that. It's not possible. She's bad. She's like, for a giant monster, she doesn't really have like explosiveness, you know? Like you watch, it's funny because they started doing squashes with like Braun and Nia on the same night, and you see Braun's improvement in those like 6-7 months since then. And Nia is just the exact same. It's just, however good a Nia Jax match is depends on how good of a bumper and seller her opponent is. Has nothing to do with what she does.
Yeah.
And that's a pretty damning like statement on someone's ring work, you know? Like, and I don't know. She's been, when did she start in NXT? After like a week after TakeOver Respect. So she's been wrestling on TV for like a year and a half now. And I don't know, have we seen like substantial improvement? I don't really think so. I really don't.
She moves and wrestles the exact same way she did in the TakeOver London match.
Yeah. And that was December of 2015. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, her wrestling IQ is not there. You can definitely tell she's I'm not gonna go there. But she's not a part of Roman's real family. I'm sorry. She didn't grow up with a wrestling ring in her backyard.
Mm.
Yeah. That's The Rock's real cousin, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Not the our grandfathers were cool cousins. Yeah. I noticed it's like I follow The Rock on Twitter because I like The Rock. You couldn't tell talking about his wrestling career, but I actually like The Rock. And I follow him on Twitter. And like the Usos and Roman, they've had some pretty big deal things happening since I've been following him. You know, tweet about them. Nia Jax had a pre-show match against Sasha Banks. He tweeted about that shit twice that day. Yeah.
So maybe there's another reason why she's in that championship match.
She has not shown a lick of improvement. First big opportunity.
Yeah.
She has not been killing it on any level. And somebody posed the question, well, pretty. I was like, I mean, Stephanie McMahon's beautiful. You don't buy her as scary when she get out there and get on the microphone? You do. If a woman like Stephanie was coming at most men that watch wrestling, their balls would literally go up into their body. And she's freaking gorgeous. Yeah. I just don't. If she is giving her best, then her best is not good enough. But to me, it feels like somebody who ended up wrestling. And that's not the same as somebody who had a career before wrestling. Because they had a career, that didn't work. Then they chose to wrestle. Sable end up in the wrestling business. Brock Lesnar. They just end up in the wrestling business because, the opportunity presents itself. And they show and prove it. I know people are fans of hers and all that, but it ain't one that you can tell me she's a monster. And yeah, she's tall and she's a big lady, but I'm not buying it. Which is a shame, because like you said, she's gonna go with Sasha again. Like, Sasha the type. Like, come on now. All the good work that she's done, especially through like an angle where they really, between her and Charlotte, where her and Charlotte pretty much willed that feud to be good themselves.
Yeah.
Themselves, because what they were given was crap. And those two ladies decided, fuck it. We're going to take this nothing and make something. And you don't forgive this woman who's like, she's really not that impressive. And you put her in this spot. And like, well, who else would you give a spot to? I'm like, well, there's 3 women there already. We're all full. How about that?
Well, there is also a extremely talented female worker on the Raw roster that has not been featured other than 18 weeks of vignettes and then 30 seconds of going back on all of those vignettes. So,
Yeah, and like some people like, well, any charisma, blah, blah, blah. She has more than Nia Jax.
Yeah.
She's better than her.
Yeah.
She's more entertaining.
Yeah.
She is. And I would, if they gave Emma a gimmick, because she's pretty tall, they gave her a gimmick as like an ass kicker who mowed over people, would be very much more believable to me than Nia Jax. It would.
Yeah. Yeah, she...
Because that's kind of what they were doing a little bit in NXT. Yeah. She was kind of a badass.
Both Emma and Alexa in NXT were far better like jobber killers than Nia Jax ever was.
And Alexa's tiny.
And Alexa is tiny. 4'10". Like, she is not 5 feet tall. She is literally like 4'10".
So yeah, is there any subjects you want to touch up on?
I don't think so. I think we covered. It's so funny. Like, I look in my notes, and "Go suck a dick, dumb shits" is in my notes for literally the last 3 weeks. I finally got to use it. No, I don't have anything. I don't got anything else. We got FastLane on.
Well, I just wanted to talk for a second because I know we talk about WWE. I just wanted to mention the stupid freaking mistakes TNA is making by like, okay, I didn't have the channel. I had to upgrade my package last year to get the channel so I could watch all the Broken Hearted stuff. So it's like, it was only $10 extra. So like, Matt Hardy legit got me to pay my cable company more money so I could watch and see what he was doing. So for TNA to like get rid of or not, bring about negotiating with the Hardys. Then Maria's leaving, and I think Jade is also leaving, and what's his name? The Scottish dude, Drew Galloway.
Yeah.
He's leaving, and I know it's a lot. Like, it seems like everybody that they've not said anything about EC3.
No, yeah.
But it's like everybody I've enjoyed, except for EC3 and Bobby Lashley, won't be on the show much. Like, probably next week. So I just don't understand how this is a good business decision.
Yeah, it seems like everybody's leaving them. Yeah.
Yeah. And like, they're not picking up anybody that I would want to see. I'm not going to write TNA off because, when a nuclear holocaust happens, cockroaches share in TNA will still be here. But it's just weird. And thank God for El Rey, or else I would probably go back to my smaller cable package. But it's just weird. I just wanted to ask, do you think, even if as a one-off, that we will see the Hardys again?
In WWE?
Yeah.
I think it's nailed on. I think it's a guarantee.
All right.
And I cannot wait. Oh my God. It's going to be like, if they do it at a place like Smart Mania or something, it'll be like, remember like peak Yes Chant era shit when like the whole crowd was doing it? Whole crowd would be doing delete shit. Whole crowd at like a Smart Mania type spot. That would be awesome to see. I kind of hope they go to SmackDown. I kind of hope they go to SmackDown, though, because that would be awesome. I would love to review the hell out of that.
I don't think they would have a long run just because I don't think Vince is giving anybody creative control like that.
Yeah.
But I do see how they could like work and collaborate on some things. And if they agreed on like a certain run here or there.
Yeah.
And they could get that down and they would do it. And if that works, then they'll go back and negotiate. But I would love to see it happen. Yeah. I always like Drew Galloway. So if he can get another chance, I think he should go straight to the main roster if he came back because he's ready. Yeah. Being NXT, he's ready.
Absolutely none whatsoever.
And yeah. I don't think they're going to pick up anybody else who left them.
They might pick up like they might pick up like Mia Yim. I could see them picking her up.
Yeah. They might.
Or like Cherry Bomb maybe, or sorry, Allie.
Oh God, I would love that.
Right? She's a hoot. She's a lot of fun.
Yeah. She
would do very well on SmackDown.
Mhm. Yeah, she's a character that.
Yep.
At the little character beats. So yes. As always, it's been a fun show. You know, we call it Wednesday night shooting, so you gotta shoot off sometimes.
Yeah, we gotta say
And I
some
just want
words.
to I just want to let everybody just remind you that, you know, we talked about a lot here tonight, but please don't let that distract you from the fact that Remy Ma body Nicki Minaj on Shootin this weekend. Follow me on Twitter at Militia Malice Joe and follow Andrew at andrewmswift. And
Like, subscribe, all that good stuff.
yeah. And you know, we'll see you next week. So peace out, people.
Enjoy the
Bye.
fast lane. Bye.